So the Audi RS Q8 performance is like Jason Statham. Do you know? Sort of brutal but precise, muscular, deadly efficient, and composed, and so intense, and wow. Do you know? But also, like Statham, also looks very good on the red carpet, which this would be too, do you know? And always composed. But that, like, brutal precision is something else. Ha! I do like Jason Statham. Don't you? Jason Statham. Why do I keep saying it incorrectly? Anyway, this is Audi's fastest and most powerful SUV yet. Yo, with a lekker hefty price to boot as well. So you're looking at about like 3.3 million rand without options. So if you're spending that kind of money, I'm assuming you're going to want to insure the car. Okay, so you put your details into Hippo like I did with this car specifically, and out came, so 2,849 rand with an excess of 9.5. But what I found interesting, the next one up is like in the 5,000s, but with an excess of like 21,000 something. So you can look at exactly what's offered and pay almost like what you want. That's why I like that there's so many quotes, because you can really see what it is you're paying for, what you're getting. I went with comprehensive on this one, do you know? I think that's what you need. To be fair though, when you're playing in this field, I'm just assuming that money doesn't matter. Okay? I don't think you're going to be really wanting to go through all the quotes to find the cheapest and save yourself a buck or two. Although, in saying that, if you look at most of the people who have a lot of money, they do save and they do look for the best deals. Do you know what I mean? They're probably looking at Hippo. They've got the best deal. They've saved themselves some money. Well played. This is a facelift of the first gen Audi RS Q8, which came out in 2021. So it's had some tweaks to the grille and the boot, and then the headlights and tail lamps, etc. And then inside, really just a bit of sort of infotainment functionality, etc. There's a few sort of, again, tweaks here and there, but overall still stunningly Audi in this interior. The only thing I don't like, and this is legit nothing to do with Audi, but it's this, the Alcantara, this stuff, I've mentioned it before, I hate a steering wheel in this. I've got a fear of ice cream sticks, and this is similar in feeling, and it gives me the thrills. And don't you judge me, because some of you people I know don't like cotton wool or like wool. My husband can't wool. He always thinks he's gonna, if he bites at that feeling. We are bizarre people. But I would love just a lovely leather steering wheel, because I don't like the feeling. My hands feel dry now, and it's thrilling me out. Thrilling me. I'm not going to go into all the sort of standard spec, because I think when you're paying 3.3 million, or when this one is closer to like 4 million, you can expect everything, okay? Let's not be silly about it. I'm not going to be like, ooh, it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Like, because if it didn't, come on. But the most important is probably sort of the tech and performance that has been upgraded. Now, these sort of performance SUVs have kind of in a way confused me for many years, but they haven't confused others, okay? And I'm now starting to get it, right? So these are outselling the sports car versions of themselves in a way. So like if you look at like Porsche and Bentley, whatever's, those who made like supercars and sports cars, the SUVs are now outselling those. That I understand, because, okay, here's a spoiler alert, I don't like sports cars. I never really have. I can appreciate them. I appreciate their performance and all of that, but I find them uncomfortable. And I want one if I have a closed road or a track. Otherwise, what is the point? I don't see the point in them. These at least offer space and a bit more comfort and a bit more practicality, so I can get on board with that, right? And so I'm very much on board with this RS Q8. Also throw in an RS6, RS7 engine and I'm all in, okay? So this is the trusty 4-litre twin turbo that now has even bigger outputs than before. So it now produces 471 kilowatts of power, was 441, and 850 newton meters of torque. Did I say newton meters? Kilowatts, and then newton meters of torque. It was 800, so it's now 850, okay? Again, making it the most powerful SUV ICE model here in Audi, in the lineup in South Africa. It's going to get you to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.6 seconds, okay? And this thing is like 2.3 tons, okay? It ain't no small little dainty thing. It is a beast. I won't do that again. When the valves open up in these exhausts, oh, what a sound. Okay. They've also tweaked the 8-speed auto, the software on that. And then when it comes to the sort of handling and dynamics of this car, like you can really put this nose into a sharp corner and come out on the other side alive and having had some fun and feeling confident. And the reason for that is the sort of the many systems that are ensuring a really spirited yet composed ride and drive. It's systems like the active roll stabilization system, which is an optional extra by way of like 108,000 rand, but it works beautifully, and so you really can have quite a lot of fun with this car. I also think, look, it's off the line in a straight line that you're going to have the sort of most fun with it, because that's when it is just insanely quick. It really is stupidly fast. And then you've got your driving modes. If you pop this into, so you've got RS1 and RS2 well, which you can customize in a way. And so you can choose which one you want, which I quite like, because you've got everything set for yourself. And if, like, say RS1, you just put everything at its like sportiest sort of mode, it's unbelievable. I really wish, there's so much tech in here and so much I'd love to show you. I just need a track, extra tires, and maybe a fuel station close by, and obviously money, because then I could really show you. I'm going to leave that to the likes of Casterco's and those who have the money and the means to do these sorts of like things and drag races and all the fun stuff that I can't show you, but I can tell you about. Got a fright, someone messaged me. But speaking of fuel consumption, so again, I don't think that maybe if you're going to be able to spend this kind of money, I don't think you are going to be worrying too much about the fuel consumption, the fuel costs. You know, you're not going to be nitpicking. So it's claimed at like 12.2 liters per 100 Ks, but you are more than likely going to see readings of about 18 liters per 100 Ks. And that is probably thanks to the sort of 48 volt, like the mild hybrid system that like will at least keep it down. Because if it didn't have that, holy moly, because you can sit in the 20s as well. It's quite easy. Pop this on a track or take it anywhere, like on a very, very fun drive, and that fuel consumption is going to climb right on up. I think what makes this car so special for me is the fact that you can have all that fun with it, and you know that you're sitting on like a beast mode, but you can keep it in eco or put it into comfort mode. And thanks to the likes of like adaptive air suspension, which you can adjust as well, it becomes a really comfortable cruising car and a very comfortable around town car even, because it's also got 4-wheel steering, which means that like it makes the car feel very nimble and it's very easy to maneuver like into tight parking spaces. I went into a shopping center yesterday and I was already nervous. Whenever I'm in a car of this size and price, mind you, I'm so terrified I'm going to knock it or nick the what am I talking about? The wheels. My gosh, the alloys. And yesterday, obviously, you've got all the stuff to not, hit it with your cameras and your sensors and stuff, which are a little bit intrusive. They're a little bit panicky, I feel. But the steering and getting this car into a very tight parking space proved far easier than I thought it was going to. That is a win. Look, there is ample space, even in the back. Okay, I don't want to be in the middle seat because that transmission tunnel will make sure that your knees are underneath your chin. But they are heated seats, so yay for the rear passengers. But it's got a 605-litre boot, which I think is only tipped by the Mercedes AMG GEL E63 Coupe. And then speaking of rivals, you can also look at something like the BMW X6 competition. But I mean, would you? I don't know. Hey, there's my cousin. What is he doing there? Just chilling at Kauai having a smoothie. Shouldn't he be at work? So I mentioned the optional extras, what this price was as standard. Now things like the 23-inch tires or wheels are coming in at like 42 grand, which isn't too bad considering. But then if you want to up the, you know, the speed of this car, which again, I don't know why you would, because where can you use that? But anyways, that'll cost you like 56,000 rand. And then even something like this, like the blue seat belts and the blue stitching and everything comes in at like 65 grand. So, I wish that I had the money to not care and just get all the optional extras that I wanted. But like, choose wisely. But I do love this. Doesn't it look nice on my yellow? Yo, I love it. Luca loves it too. Okay, I have somehow turned on, oh, that's what's happened. No, off. You see, I do miss a physical button, but I also don't know what I've pressed on here. Oh God, have I got, there's something happening. You see, I'm not good with all this tech, people. Something's blowing at me. Oh, I see what I've done. Okay, it's got ventilated seats. I put that on. Duh, that should be the first thing I check. So look, this car might be niche, but my God, is it good. Okay, it is so good. It does everything it is supposed to do, and it does it well. And if you have the money, I would love, this is probably one of the few cars that I would spend the money on, just so I could be like, everybody else, check me out. Like, yeah.